On the Thursday evening on April the 3rd, 2025, just after taking off from South Africa International Airport to Los Angeles International Airport, Flight 4824 been dealing problems with its two engines on the right. But they didn't know that things would get worse. After taking off, it was about 251 passengers, 2 crews, and 2 pilots. Flight 4824 was an express scheduled flight from South Africa to Los Angeles on express flight. Sorry about that. But they didn't know things would get worse until then. The 1 and 2 engines of the both engines were in danger. Cause now one of the 1 and 2 engines bursts into the flames and starts calling it's bad idea to not take a plane on an air trip. But then it was already too late for that, because a Boeing 707 2 engines are now burning to flames. Lost failure to its power. The plane was losing hydraulic system and lost its front gear, which is going down towards Cyprus Airport. Flight 4824 was heading down from the sky from 8,000 feet to 7,000 feet from the ground, heading towards the ocean water deep sea, towards Cyprus Airport. They were not going to be able to make a landing, but it's going to be a very dangerous crash, because now it was heading towards a nosedive, but now climbing back up. They push its plane engines more forward than it's supposed to be, because now it's burning into flames and making it even worse. Passengers are screaming and panicking and seeing a horrifying sight of 2 engines in flames, causing the wing to also lose its, gravity to push and turn and right the plane in speeds. But the flaps were messed up, because now they were bending down as it wasn't supposed to be doing after takeoff. They were approaching Cyprus Airport at about 310 to 15 miles per hour, at about knots at 900 feet from the ground. The alarm systems wasn't going off as it wasn't, but the B707 was not cooperating with its controls. The flaps, the speed, the controls were getting worse. So they tried to go back and around as they could, but they can see the runway in front of them. But one issue, it wasn't straight, and they were heading towards it with a different angle. So they tried turning it, but the plane was getting closer to the ground. They were starting to lose it. They only got 28 to 50% chances of making the plane get back up and turn it back. But they tried landing, but they did land. As they land, they were hitting trees, grasses, and different parts of the landing area, scratching off his grasses in the dirt, pushing the wheels off, now baking towards the right, hitting the water. It almost could cause a crash. But the 2 pilots worked together to pull the plane back up and try baking it. But 4824 is now out of control, because now its back tail were later starting to malfunction. As they turned back around, they were starting to get more control of Flight 4824's control. But Air French flight wasn't going to make it. They tried their best to land the plane, but still didn't make no effort. Cyprus Airport's flight ATC were calling out for emergency services and South Africa emergency services. But they didn't have enough services there, so they helped Cyprus. Finally, they could have slowed the planes down, but the thing is, things will get worse because they now at 70% of the speed at 122 knots. They were slowly losing it as the plane gets down towards the ground. They braces for impact as the passengers brace for the unthinkable impact. Everything was sitting quietly as the plane lands on the ground. But the pilots forced the power and increased it to 100. Flight 48's 24 engines were starting to burn out and started to lose control. The fuel was now at 20 to 5% of the fuel. Then now, the plane was heading towards the water at roughly 245 knots per hour. And then, disaster was unthinkable. And then it crashes.